Welcome back, Transformers fans. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And we've got a special episode of Bot vs. Con for you. We're looking at the latest reveals from the 1027 Hasbro Premium event, where they showed off one bot that I'm pretty interested in and one that, you know, I'm kind of lukewarm to. What about you, Bobby?
I'm actually a little lukewarm on both, let's say.
Okay, well, he just gave it away. You know, I was trying to give a little bit of mystery. So we'll be right back and we'll start discussing. And before we start, you could go ahead and pre-order these at The Chosen Prime, the official sponsor to our channel. We really appreciate you guys, and hopefully you'll be able to pre-order them there soon, and I think we will talk about that in a little bit. And also, we just got off of our live, so we want to give a big shout-out to everybody that joined, and a special shout-out to all the members that always show up to all of our lives. We really appreciate it, and even the subs. We really appreciate everybody. We had a great time, and it was very spooky, and we can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, so go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already.
True. Now let's get into it. So Bobby kind of already let out the cat of the bag. They showed off Megatronus and Devastator. Any initial thoughts on these two with just this picture before we delve into it a little bit deeper?
Honestly, I haven't seen many pictures, so my first reaction was, wow. Yeah,
I think that was mine as well. For different reasons on them, which we'll get into. So, I do think like they showed off more on this 1027. I don't know if it's always 1027. I feel like it was the same date last year, but I could be wrong. Because I think last year they didn't show off anything. So, anything new, let me say.
Yeah, this was good in recap of what we were missing from the Fans Pulse. I think it was one of the Fans Pulse was, or is it? Yeah, the fans, whatever the fans thing they did earlier, but that seemed rushed. What's that?
PulseCon.
PulseCon, yes. That seemed rushed when it came to the Transformer section, so I'm glad they gave us an extra day to kind of talk about stuff, especially ones that we've been hearing about, but we haven't seen, so this was very exciting.
Well, let's just get into it, and so we can see here Nate and Evan, which I believe they introduced Nate in the PulseCon that you were just talking about. We're talking about some stuff, but let's just get to the toys. So Mark showed off Megatronus, and my first impression is, wow, this looks really good for Hasbro. Like, remarkably good. I love the different purples. I love the flame effects, the yellow. We'll get into a little bit more, but they did have TFW, where we did get all of these pictures, so go check them out. Has a little bit of a recap, so Bobby, why don't you read that?
Yeah, so the flames are removable. They're connected by a 5mm port. There's a unique symbol on the arm from Power of the Primes,
which we will see. There is a slide of that.
Okay. And then the suppressor on the nozzle is removable, excuse me. The spear and the blade, it also has rolling wheels, and the packaging is delicious, according to them. I don't recommend anyone going and taking a bite out of their package or chewing on them in the shelves as well, but there you have it.
Maybe Rat Trap will like chew on the box a little bit. I didn't know that the flame parts were on 5mm pegs, so I'm glad they are. I think that's kind of a cool little, bonus. But I'm honestly shocked at how put together this looks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. From some of the things we've seen, they did a great job, and all the colors are very interesting. Let's move on a little bit. So what are your thoughts? Oh, there's his toesies. That's the one thing I didn't like. I don't know if it's comic accurate or not, but I don't like the little toesies.
All right, so I have no idea what this character is supposed to look like. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought that it looked good. I thought that, as you mentioned, all the colors came together really nice. The head and chest, and there's not many gaps that we can see here. It looked like, as you said, a well put together figure, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of this from Hasbro in terms of their figures in general. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this figure on my shelf, because I am going to pick this up.
Yeah, I'm picking this up too. So I read the Dreamwave comics where the Fallen was in. I forget the name of them, and I loved those things. So I'm very excited to get this Fallen, and that they did a good job on it. I think the Fallen is a very interesting character, really different from what we've seen in the Transformers 1 movie, which I thought was weird. But I can't wait to get this Servant of Unicron on my shelf. I think they did a great job. And here is that symbol from Power of the Primes, I believe you were mentioning. Mm-hmm. It kind of looks like a deer to me, but, you know, looks fine like regardless.
He has those 3 toesies on his arm. That's what it looks like at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, the toes, I mean, they're fine. I just wish they were one piece. And there's the alt mode. I don't know if we get a closer look at the alt mode, but I like that the fire wraps around it still. And it's a very familiar looking tank.
When I saw this, and I think this might be where you're hinting at, I saw Megatron, potentially. When I saw the arm cannon, I saw Megatron, potentially. I know we're talking about a 86 Megatron coming, and this is what I thought they would potentially use as a remote for that Megatron.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until I think it was Paulo in our live said, "Do you think that they're going to do that as Studio Series Megatron?" And I was like, "Yeah." Once he said that, it clicked, and I'm like, remold pieces here and there, or Megatron was remolded for this, and you would have a competent Megatron.
Yep.
I could definitely see that. So time will tell. You know, give them a different cannon, maybe. You know, take away the spear, do different feet and stuff, and I could see this as Megatron. Now, do you think that's a good or a bad thing?
It's actually a great thing, because I'm tired of them reusing the same mold that we've seen over like the last 5 years or so. So it gives, this one looks more complete. And honestly, Megatron was never a tank in G1, you know, from the 86 movie and stuff. So whatever they do as a tank is going to be what it is. So this is a good enough looking tank, I think. And the bot mode looks really good. So if they, you know, again, do a head swap and, you know, put in the G1 colors and, you know, aesthetics, and I think
I think they need to do a lot of remolding.
Yeah, but I think
to make people, you know, this, I don't mean this as an insult, but people like you that really want that tuned G1 aesthetic, there needs to be a lot of stuff changed, which I think they would probably do. Yeah,
I don't see it being, with this in particular, I don't see it really being that hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the retractable nozzle as suppressor as well, I can see that, you know, again, that's perfect for his arm cannon, you know.
Yeah, but this doesn't look like Megatron's gun. Like right here, it's way too greebly. I think they would need to give him a different cannon.
Yeah, but it looks like it just pegs in. So whatever.
Well, yeah, exactly. So they would just be able to change that out.
Whatever they put in, you know, it just pegs in. So.
Yeah, and there's the tank.
And there's
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. I know you are as well, as we flip through these.
Just showed the wheels.
Oh, that's cool. He could have like a flamethrower, even though that would be after he shot, because it's just a little bloop. But you know,
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. What this would look cool with is with the Dragon Megatron's flame effect.
Yeah. So this is. Again, what I want to see from Hasbro is, let's see some new figures. Let's see some, you know, some new molds that we haven't seen 12 times already, and they have my money.
Yeah, I mean, even this packaging looks kind of cool.
But is it delicious?
I mean, the colors, it look gold. Maybe it's gold flaked or something, but I do like this packaging. It really reminds me of the Combiner Wars packaging.
Yes.
Which is not a bad thing. And I think that's what they were going for with
Combiner Wars
13 Primes, and they had those in the last, was it not Titan's Return?
Was Power of the Prime? Yeah, Titan.
Power of the Primes, that's what it was. Thank you. So that's what this reminds me of. And then there's like a little hint at where they're going with this, but I'm interested to see this line. This is a good way to start it off.
I'm right there with you. What I did wonder is if all the packaging was going to be black and gold, or if they did the black and gold simply because it matches this character. And with future packaging, are they going to match the packaging to the character? That would be really cool if they did that.
That would be. And here's the artwork, which, again, I've said this for quite a while. Whoever does their artwork is great. I don't remember his name. But this looks stunning. And I'd love to see this in, like, an animated show.
Oh, this is what we've been asking for, and this is what I think Hasbro is giving us and delivering on. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, me too. This looks great. So same thing with the alt mode. Looks amazing. It looks like the Fallen on fire. I love it.
Cool.
So
yeah.
Oh, and pre-orders go on October 28th. Oh, so I guess I'm pre-ordering this tomorrow. So
yes.
Yeah.
1 p.m. for premium members and 2 p.m. for everyone else.
Oh, I won't be ordering it through Hasbro Pulse. I'll probably go to, like, I don't know, Chosen Prime, but, you know. It does look good. But let's switch gears and talk about Devastator. So you're 1 for 1 already. And see if you're going to be 2 for 2. And they showed off Scavenger. Now, I think we have some closer-up pictures. What do you think of this?
I'm okay with it. It has the G1 aesthetics that I would want to see in the bot mode. The alt mode looks pretty easy as well. I'm okay with this. I think it looks fine.
I think it looks fine too, but not as a Voyager. This looks like a deluxe.
It does look small.
Not even small, just like it doesn't look like it has swivel, like the fists don't swivel. There's something about it that looks cheap, and I'm not trying to be too negative, but it doesn't look premium. Like, maybe it's the green plastic, because, you know, the Megatronus, or Fallen, whatever you want to call them, looked kind of premium with the colors and all that. This one, I don't see it at all. The green is very, very dull, and it could be accurate. I'm not saying it's not accurate, but it looks dull compared to the one we just looked at. I do like the silver on the thighs, though.
I keep looking up because I do have my G1 Devastator, and the green actually looks spot on.
And it might, I don't know. It's the plastic of the green, how it's catching the light. Yeah, it doesn't look. It's not doing it for me. Honestly, I don't have much to say besides it is what it is. Like my hat. The Megatronus was like new and unique and interesting, and maybe it's because there's 30 million Devastators out there right now. But I can say this is the worst one. It's Hasbro, so I'm not going to knock it too much. But it is the worst one. Like I said this on the live stream, the Mecha Invasion is a different look, so I'm not comparing them. But the fact that those are $45, which is pretty much what these are going to be, I'll just buy those. You know, with between the two, I don't want multiple Devastators. I love the color scheme, but I've never liked construction vehicles that much. So I just need one.
You want to talk?
If I was going to pick one, it'd be those. It does look cleaner on the back than Fans Toys, though.
on the back? Oh, the bot.
The robot. Yeah. That was a joke. I understand. You can't compare them. I'm just saying. But I do think you could compare these to the Mecha Invasions ones, because they're roughly the same price point. That
is a very fair assessment.
When everything is combined, I mean, this one, yeah, it's 35, not 45. But when you have like the what's it called? The Commander, not Combiner. The Commander class, they're probably going to be around the same price. So, I forgot to have you read the recap notes. Why don't you do that really quick?
So there's going to be 3 waves. Scrapper is a Voyager and Bone Crusher is a Deluxe that are due in April. Again, pre-orders for that will be tomorrow. Long Haul and Hook, both are Voyagers. 2-pack Commander class, and that's going to be in July. And then Mixmaster as a Voyager and Scavenger as a Deluxe will be available in September. Now you get elbows and blasters. I don't know what that means.
Instead of like the Combiner Wars version, they all have elbows and guns.
Oh, gotcha. I forgot about that. Scrapper, the Voyager scale is due to engineering for Devastator's weight control and ankles. Assume the same for Mixmaster. These are early or EP2s or early versions. The green will change, so that kind of addresses.
Okay, so maybe the green will look a little bit more premium. Okay.
Yeah. Devastator's blaster splits apart. Height-wise, he's going to be the same size as Voyager Ironhide and Ratchet.
Oh, he looks a lot smaller in these pictures.
Yeah, so that's good. The Studio Series packaging is returning to window style, which I like. The Commander set will come with extra pieces to form Devastator and extra value items to make the price work. That concerns me. And are aware of folks who had issues completing their Minosaur. So in essence, I guess there's going to be a lot of these available. If you decide to invest in the first two, they'll do all they can to make sure you can complete. How are they going to do that? I don't understand that.
Well, all of the Studio Series Commander class have like sold out in 2 seconds, so they better be careful. Both Ultra Magnus and Prime.
Well, the only thing, the reason I said I don't understand that in particular is, are you saying if you decide to invest in the first two from Hasbro Pulse, that they're going to kind of keep you, like highlighted or pinned as somebody who gets to get, I don't want to say skip the line, but, they make sure that you're going to complete your set versus if you buy from Amazon or Chosen Prime or
That's
something
not
like that.
how I heard it, or I was interpreting it, but that would be horrible if that's what it was.
Yeah, because how are you going to ensure that? So again, just reading between the lines, we'll do all they can to make sure you can complete. Like, what does that mean? So okay, the goal is to get it all out within a 6-month window. I love that. And then the full Devastator, well, we'll talk about that when we get
talk about that when we look at it.
So
there's a shot with him next to Minosaur. So what do you think of the size? Because to me, it's still, I get it. They did it so he could be more stable, but he still seems kind of tiny.
Being that he looks, like he's taller than, up, a little above Mixmaster's knees.
Yeah, I don't have that figure, so I think you could be better.
Which is fun because you can see the Carbots kind of pegged onto the back, and then he's definitely taller than them, and even by a little bit more if you count the scoop. So I think that aspect is fine. You really threw me off with the Mecha Invasion.
Sorry.
Because
it's a different Devastator. That's why,
So it's a different Devastator in the way it combines. But I think this looks good. I wish it was cleaner on the arms. Like, when we saw the Fallen, there weren't those, gaps in the arms that we see. But of course we see it here. But I think that might be the transformation of the hand folding in. Hopefully that's what it is.
I assume as much
to fill that in, because otherwise I don't see any gaps, which is again good. The alt mode is like that picture right there looks good. I couldn't really see the clarity of it, so it looks good in the alt mode. I like the vents in the front. There's some posability there, so all those things are check marks for me. And honestly, looking at the forearms and things, I don't see any gaps. So
this picture does look better than the in-hand images.
Yeah, and the thighs and stuff, I don't see gaps. So I like what I'm seeing so far.
Mm-hmm. And there he is as a leg with Mixmaster next to him. And I guess let's get into the gray prototype. I believe that's next. Let's see. Oh no, first we have Bone Crusher.
Yes. Bone Crusher.
Go on.
Yeah. Bone Crusher looks great in alt mode. And in bot mode, he looks just like. I mean, I'm looking at the box here, and he looks pretty spot on. I think the alt mode definitely looks really, really good. The bot mode, he never really had a lot of colors to break up the green, so that is what it is. But I think it looks great. Again, it doesn't look like there's, much many gaps or waffling in the figure. It looks spot on.
Yeah, taking the deco aside, I do think this one looks better than Scavenger. I don't like the all green. We discussed that when X-Transbots, I believe it was X-Transbot, showed off theirs. I think, like, if the treads were just painted black, it'd look a lot better. But I understand they're going for a specific aesthetic. I don't like it, but the figure itself looks fine. This looks more like a Voyager to me than Bone Crusher. I don't know. Maybe the size is different, but it's fine. But again, I would probably prefer Mecha Invasions. And there he is next to Studio Series Prime. I, again, haven't seen that figure in hand. So, how big is this?
So, since we're kind of talking about it, if I have him, it looks like he goes to maybe about here. So, give or take.
Okay. That's not a horrible size.
Yeah. So I was trying to think of what I had around me that it's about that size, but yeah,
he is bigger than Scrapper.
He definitely, his chest looks wider, and again, that's because
he even looks taller. If you stood him up straight, he's not standing straight.
I guess, but yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to tell in these images. What do you think of the scale, though?
I've always thought they should be the same size, but again, I understand that's translating from cartoon to toy. I think it's okay, and Bone Crusher is supposed to be deluxe size, and Scrapper is Voyager size, so that doesn't match.
I mean, if there's more stuff going on, okay, but.
I think, and probably there is, because he is the leg and he's going to hold him up, so there's probably more stability and things. In the tuning of it.
The packaging looks good too.
The packaging this one is actually a little boring.
I think all of Studio Series packaging isn't the most flashy. It's not supposed to be. It's not like the legacy ones with all the artwork on the side and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little boring.
Yeah.
I think can you go back one?
Yeah, of course.
Never mind. I was gonna say, never mind. They're both boring.
And here's what they plan on releasing. So, shouldn't really shock anybody.
No.
So, Did Hook always have a green foot? I guess, but the whole front of him was green.
Both of his feet are green, actually.
Right? But in this picture, it's only one, right? Because he has the canopy. Or whatever, that's cockpit, whatever.
Well, the front of the vehicle are his feet, so...
Right? That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So it's just a G1 animation error.
Yeah. Now let's look at the big bad that we're all waiting for, Darth Devastator, right here in his cloak. But let's get over to it, and there he is in all of his glory. And Bobby, why don't you do the recap first?
All right, so he's slightly taller than the Minosaur, but way beefier.
We have pictures of that coming up too.
Okay. He's very G1-esque. Whoopsie mentioned doing combiners in same calendar year, like this for foreseeable future, aka more coming. So that's great to hear. So looking at a 6-month turnaround on all the future combiners as well. The Studio Series is moving to 3 waves a year instead of 4. No repacks per wave. Love hearing that. If you want to tag into Devastator, only chance at retail is the wave they release in. So that's kind of cool. No, not planning on doing a gift set for Devastator excuse me, I have the hiccups now. Excuse me. So they're not planning on doing a gift set for Devastator immediately, at least not in the first 1 to 2 years. So that means if you're planning on waiting 1 to 2 years for a gift set, that's going to be, or if you're planning on waiting for a gift set, plan on waiting 1 to 2 years. There we go. Again, pre-orders open tomorrow for premium members at 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock for everyone else. And there you have it.
All right. Well, I'll go first because I'll be quick. The problems that I have with this, I think, are the prototype. I don't like that the shovel on the side is down, but I'm sure that could come up. It's probably the prototype. Yeah, and I think the shovel on the other arm should be flipped over, but again, I'm sure you can actually do that. But the thing that stuck out to me are the 2 gaps in his chest from Hook. Right behind the shield. There's one like right here and one right here. Yeah. Those are eyesores on this figure. Other than that, I think it looks fine.
Yeah, those gaps are terrible. They if it looks like the shield should come up a little bit more to cover those, if anything. Yeah.
And maybe when it's in color, you won't notice them as much. Let's see, is there a closer up image? I don't think so. But continue.
Yeah. I like the ankle tilts in the legs. The hands look, pretty familiar. The way the chest plugs in, the chest plate plugs in, I like that. It looks like it not only pegs into the front, but it pegs into maybe the tracks on the bulldozer and Scavenger. So I like that. It does look very G1-esque, and I love that aspect. I love the beefiness of it. I like that it's taller than Minosaur. This was one of the things that I had an issue with the Minosaur, is that it just didn't do it for me at all. I didn't like the aesthetics of it. I like the individual bots, but the combined mode didn't look great to me. This Devastator looks good for a updated G1 rendition. I do wish it was as big as the Combiner Wars version, but I get it. I'm glad that I do wish it was even bigger than, a little bit more bigger than the Minosaur, but this looks good to me still.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was expecting it to be bigger for the price that this is gonna be. This is very small. I mean, there was a KO Combiner Wars that was about this size that looks almost the same, if you're just going for what it looks like, not what it feels like. And this is just like, I was hoping for something bigger. This does not sway me to get it. I will be saving my money or buying Mecha Innovations' unique take on Devastator. But yeah, this is not doing it for me. Just like the Minosaur really didn't do it for me either, for different reasons. I do think the silhouette's good. I want to know how the arms work, because they're like, will the treads move up or not? It doesn't look like there's a lot of posability there, and I'm interested to see how that works. There might be, there might not be. It's fine. I'm happy to everybody that likes it, but this is definitely not for my collection.
I'm like, with looking at it, I would say that the treads may be static and the top part of the vehicles.
That's what I was thinking. I've seen it both ways on Devastator.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah. So.
But because that shield it looks like it's in the way of...
It connects to those, it almost
looks like it's in the way of getting any articulation with those treads. So, yeah, I think I definitely think it looks better than the Minosaur. I
do too. I agree. It just seems really small compared to that Prime right there. Like, I mean, I know it's kind of unrealistic, but I feel like Prime should come up to Devastator's knees.
Well, even looking at them in bot mode, I mean, the Constructicons aren't that much smaller. Well, I guess, again, if we're talking about the toys,
yeah, they were a lot smaller, yeah. But I've also seen, like I think you were just about to say, they should be like head-to-head with Prime. If maybe a little shorter.
Yeah. In terms of the tune, yes.
So I think this whole figure, they should have done that. I mean, it would have been way more expensive, but I think that would have been an overall better product. And people would have still bought it the same. I don't know if Target would have bought it the same, which is probably who they're worried about, not us. So
yeah, again, give me this in the Combiner War size, and I would have been all in for it.
All right, so are you going to wait for the eventual oversized KO?
I don't know. This is
that's coming out.
This is coming at a bad time with all the other third-party extra Devastators coming out. I love the fact that this is going to be released in 6 months. That is a huge check for them on this. I love that aspect of it. I love that they're saying that it's going to be available, which again, that's big. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with the 86 line, as I was really hoping that this would have been bigger, but
cool. And the price, let's see, let's do some quick math in my head. This is going to be approximately what, $210, $220?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. I would expect it to be bigger, personally.
Yeah. And again, I'm happy that this is coming. This I've been wanting this. It's just coming at the worst time for looking for Devastator.
When you could literally pick anything you want without worrying about cost. You could pick any type of Devastator you're looking for.
Yes, there's so many Devastators out there, so
yeah, so let us know your thoughts below as we go through the rest of these pictures. Here they are going on pre-order, so let's know if you pre-ordered them. And we'll see if Bobby pre-orders them as well. I know I'm at least pre-ordering Megatronus. That's the one I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting Megatronus.
That's so weird to hear you say, I'm definitely getting that, but I don't know about the Studio Series G1 figure. It's just there's so many of them.
That's the literal, and simply just because you've been talking about it, I mean, I have a
cheap version of Devastator already there.
Yeah, I have the Mecha Invasion as well, so it's something that is where am I going to put it? You know,
yeah.
I'm already working on I think like 4 or 5 Devastators, so yeah, this is hard.
Well, let us know where Bobby should put it below, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yes, so thank you for sitting through this. As always, till all debates are won, we'll see you next time.